I'm back. 5 minutes later. So I made a video on Progressive's Snapshot program versus State Farm's Drive Safe program, and which one I prefer. But now I'm going to make a video on how to maximize your discount on Progressive. I find it easier to control your discounts. So a little bit about the Progressive app. They have two options, or the Progressive system. You have the actual OBD2 dongles, which track your speed, hard braking, at least even beep at you when you brake hard. Speed, hard braking, and you can actually do a little bit of tracking on your phone and stuff. But yeah, speed, hard braking when you're driving, how many miles you're driving and stuff like that. God, nose itch. You also have the app. The app tracks time you're driving, like time of night you're driving, because it doesn't like you driving at night. Hard braking, hard accelerating, I think cornering, and phone usage. Now, I have basically a perfect score, 5 stars. I save about 30-some%. I think it's about $59 a billing cycle, or a billing period a month. And I'll tell you how. So, I was told to use, by the Progressive people, to use the OBD2 dongle because I drive multiple cars, not just my own personal cars. I drive cars for work. I drive my motorcycle. And if you have the app cannot differentiate between what you're driving. Progressive can't, because Progressive gives you this little, State Farm, sorry. State Farm can, because State Farm gives you a little dongle you attach to your car. So it knows when you get in your car, when you get in, say, your Acura or your Honda, once your phone connects with this through Bluetooth, it knows you're in your own car. So you can go in your buddy's car, and he doesn't have your dongle, so it won't track the driving. Progressive doesn't know, because Progressive doesn't have a dongle. So if I drive my car, or my work car, or my buddy's car, or my motorcycle, it'll ding me. It'll track all those rides. Now, I can go in the app and put down that I'm in my buddy's car and put down rider or passenger in the car. Passenger, I'd put down passenger if I was in my work car, because we do drive fast and hard at work. Or I'd put down passenger or rider for my motorcycle, because my motorcycle, the lady told me right away, she's like, your motorcycle accelerates harder, brakes harder, and corners faster, and it's going to throw off the G sensors in the phone. On top of that, the phone's going to keep shaking on the motorcycle anyway, so she's like, you're going to get dinged with using your phone even if you're not. And most of the time I'm on my motorcycle, I am using my phone, not on my phone, but I have it mounted and it's running navigation or something. So between the phone screen being on, and between it vibrating and shaking, she's like, you're going to get dinged. But I have these, I haven't plugged them in, I actually have to send them back. I only kept them so I can show you guys a video on them. I actually still downloaded the app. Now, this is how I got a perfect score. Step 1, go to, and you don't, okay, this is how I did it. I'm telling you how I did it. I went to Best Buy, and I bought this Android beater phone for $50 on sale. It's a Moto G Play. I just chose it because it was $50 and because it didn't look like it was the shittiest, crappiest phone they had. And has a big screen and has a big battery. I chose that phone. I bought it. Just connected it to my phone through hotspot, because I get 25 gigs of hotspot a month. And I now leave this phone inside of the Jeep. I leave it on. It gets about a week of battery life. It's been I haven't charged it for a day and it's still at 92%. Every time I get in the Jeep, it will connect automatically to my iPhone's hotspot. It'll begin tracking my driving. But it's in my center console. So it's not tracking phone usage because I'm not using it. And Progressive is a lot better, or a lot more lenient with braking and accelerating and cornering and stuff. A lot of people complain on the app, on Reddit, that the app and the dongles are like, oh my god, you're braking every 5 seconds, and people are like doing the math on velocity and how quick or how easy you have to brake and all that stuff. No. I threw it in the Jeep. And I don't get dinged for hard braking. I don't get dinged for cornering. I don't get dinged for the time of night or the amount of driving. I don't get dinged for phone usage. So the cornering, acceleration, the braking, cornering and braking, those are just, I'm not braking hard. I'm braking normal, if anything. I'm not even trying to coast more or anything like that. Like people are like, oh, you gotta coast more and do all this. No, I just drive normal. Accelerating. Accelerate like normal. Speeding wise, I realize that the app gives you about a 5 mile an hour window. So if the speed limit's 70, you can be going 75 and you still won't get dinged for speed. So that's where I cap it off and I don't get dinged. If the speed limit's 25, I'm going 30, don't get dinged. Phone usage. Again, I don't use the phone. I don't have really any apps downloaded on the phone. I have no need to use the phone because I have my iPhone 14, which I'm recording on, my 14 Pro. So that's also been negated. So I'm getting a perfect score on phone usage, perfect score on accelerating, braking, and cornering. Now, I'd work third shift. There are times where I'm driving on a weekend in the middle of the night for, driving to or from work. That's just, I work a weird schedule. That's just the nature of the beast. That's why they told me use the dongle. But what I do is, and this is the key, put the phone in airplane mode or shut it off. If you can put this phone in airplane mode or shut it off, it stops tracking your driving. And that's what I also do when I'm doing weird trips. My commute to work and back 7 miles. Now, Progressive, they'll actually raise your rates. If they don't like your driving or you get a bad score, they will raise your rates. State Farm will not raise your rates, even if you drive like an idiot. They just won't give you a discount. Progressive will raise your rates if they say you drive too much or you're a hazard. So, to negate that, when I'm driving in the middle of the night, or I'm taking a trip that I normally don't take, so I'm driving 100, 150 miles somewhere, it's not a normal drive, shut the phone off. Turn the phone off. Phone will not track your driving. And that's what's nice about having the burner phone, right? I can still have my iPhone. I can still use my phone for navigation. I can still just have my phone for music and stuff plugged into the Apple CarPlay. But I'm not getting dinged for the time of night I'm driving. I'm not getting dinged for the mileage. And again, these are odd trips that I'm not normally taking. I don't want to get dinged for them and then saying, oh, this year you drove 1,000 miles more than you're supposed to, so you just went into the next bracket for driving mileage and now you re-lowered your discount or are charging you more. No. I saved about $50 a month using their Drive Safe or their Snapshot program. Sorry. And this phone, I went to Best Buy. I found a burner phone that looked pretty solid. This is a Moto G Play. It was like $120, but this is like a track phone and it was on like sale for $51.99 actually. So I bought this phone for $51.99. Now you have two options. One, you can buy it with a phone plan. I think the cheapest phone plan was $20 for 3 months. And the only reason is because you want the data. You don't care about the phone number. You don't care about the 60 minutes of calling and the 60 minutes of texting. You need a phone plan to do the next step, which is they sell a 1 gig data card for $10. So you spend $20 to get 3 months of service. You spend $10 to get 1 gig of data that doesn't expire. Once you use it, it just rolls over. So basically, if you wanted to, in a year, you'd spend $80 on keeping this phone alive with a phone number and minutes and a little bit of texting and a little bit of minutes. And then every so often, you buy a $10 top-up data card. I've been using this for about 2 months, and I checked my hotspot history, and I've only hotspotted 95 megabytes. The phone is set to only, when it's connected to my hotspot, to only use Progressive. It's not using any location services for the weather or any GPS services for the weather. It's not using any apps. It's not updating any apps. Everything else is closed, right? Once it connects to Wi-Fi, like normal my apartment Wi-Fi, then it'll do its own thing. But I set it so that when it's connected to my phone hotspot, it's only using Progressive. So I'm using negligible data, and I can control when it's tracking my driving. I can control how often it's tracking my driving. If I know I'm going to drive hard, or if I know I'm in a rush, or if I know like I might have to speed for whatever reason, or I'm going to be driving a lot, I just shut the phone off. It's that simple. Open the glove, open the center console, grab the phone, power it off, put it back in, close the center console, go about your day. It takes you 10 seconds. Right? Now you're not going to get dinged with the hard driving or the fast driving or the time of day or whatever and the mileage, and you don't have to worry about that. Doing those things got me a 5-star score with Drive Safe. Snapshot, sorry. I've had Drive Safe for a year and a half through State Farm. That's why I keep saying Drive Safe, but through the Snapshot program. $50 a month. The phone is $52. So basically in the span of like a month and a day, I paid for the burner phone. Now you can go get your own burner phone. I chose this one basically because it had a good reviews and it had a big battery life. And it also reminded me why I don't mess with the Android phones, because honestly, even though this has like the newest operating system and it has it's like a brand new phone with nothing downloaded on it basically, I would still take a 4-year-old iPhone over this brand new phone. And I know this is like an average, like I think brand new, these are like $150, $200. So I know this is like just your average Android. It's not a flagship. I'll still take a 4-year-old flagship over that thing. But that's my experience. That's how I got a perfect score in Progressive. That's how you can too. It's up to you if you want to do it or not. I'm just giving you my experience. It's nice to know I can control the app. I've heard a lot of people, I've read a lot of people saying, oh, they raised my rates, or they don't like my driving, or the savings were negligible, or even with the savings, you know, Progressive was a little bit more expensive than Allstate, for example, but with the savings, I thought I could even it out or like save a little bit more with Progressive, and no, it didn't work out. This is my experience. This is how I got a good score. You can do it too. If you don't want to buy a burner phone, what you can do is just shut your phone off, your actual phone. You can shut your actual phone off and throw it in the glove compartment. It will accomplish the same thing, but now you just put your phone away. So you can't be using your phone for Wi-Fi or music or hotspot. You can't use your phone for calls. You can't use hands-free. Like, you just took away all that stuff, right? Having a burner phone allows me to still interact with my phone, which is still safe. I'm still using it for CarPlay and for phone calls and stuff, but sometimes I'll move it around in the car, or I'll take it out of I'll throw it on the seat, it slides around in the seat, I'll put it in the center console, I'll put it in my cup holder, or I don't want it tracking my driving in the middle of the night, or I'm driving to work, or I'm driving somewhere far and I'm running navigation on it. I don't have to worry about any of that. It stays in one car, it tracks my driving in that car, and I use that car more often than not versus my other car. I don't have to worry about it tracking my motorcycle miles, and I'm getting a decent savings. Yeah, it's about $309 every 6 months for my payment. It's pretty hefty savings for me. So yeah, that's my experience. I prefer the Progressive over the State Farm. But again, it's all up to you. Check your policies, see what you can save. From a car guy who drives athletically and enjoys driving and doesn't see it as a mundane task, this makes a difference for me. You know, if you're just driving your Hyundai Accent to work and back and you're a cautious 10-2 driver and you don't do anything and you don't touch your phone, you have very mundane, you know, Truman Show life where every day's the same, I wouldn't worry about having a burner phone. I think you're going to do just fine. If you're like me and you drive athletically, you drive at weird shifts, you drive work cars, you're driving high speed for whatever reason, whether you're a police officer or a firefighter or whatever, this works out better for me because it will not register my other vehicles. If you ride a motorcycle, this is perfect for you because you don't have to worry about being on your phone or having your phone mounted and using your phone when you're riding a bike. It can even apparently track when you're on your bicycle and it will think you're driving. So I was told that too. She's like, yeah, it might kick on if you're like a solid like bicyclist and you are bicycling 20-30 miles or going 25 miles an hour or something. So be wary. I want you all to get the best savings you can. This is how I got my good savings. If you have any questions, I reply to the comments. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go do some donuts in the snow now because it's snowed about 8 inches here. But I hope you have a good day.